Hello everyone, this is Harsh and you are watching WPF World. In this video we are going to learn about object, class, and we will also learn about the constructor, how to define the constructor, how to write the destructor, and we will learn this keyword. So without wasting time, let's get started. As you know, C# is object-oriented programming language. So the program is designed using object and class. What is object? Object is a real-time entity. For example, chair, car, mobile phone, laptop, all these are real-time entity, right? In other words, we can say object is an entity which have state and behavior. State is nothing but data and behavior is nothing but functionality. If we can see the example of mobile, we have mobile model, mobile color, and the functionality is like call to some number, watch video. So it is object, right? In C#, object is an instance of class. This will create at runtime. So what is class? Class is nothing but prototype. From the class we can create the object. Class is not a real world entity, right? So it will not occupy the memory. So let's see the example, how to define a class and how to create the object of that class. To define a class, we have to use the class keyword and the class name like C#, okay? And then here we will have data member and member function, okay? And also we should have some SS specifier here. By default it will be internal. We can define it as public, okay? In this way we can create the class. As you know, class is a prototype, so it will not occupy the memory, right? So how to create the object of C# class? If we want to create the object of C#, then let's create it. I want to create the object of C#, so we have to write C#. First we have to declare, right? Class name and reference name, okay? And then this is the declaration of C# object. It is not an object, it is a reference. To create the object, we have to use the new keyword. Now the memory is occupied for this object. Now we have to use the constructor like this. Then it will create the C# object. Using this object, we can access any data member and member function of that class, which is accessible to this class, okay? So what is constructor? Constructor is nothing but a special type of function. You know what is the function, right? This is the function. Here we have return type, but in constructor we will not have any return type. Let's define the constructor. We will have access specified. For now I will say public C# and like this. This is the constructor. This is the default constructor. Even if you have not created this, it will be there in this. So we have two type of constructor. One is default and one is parameterized. What is that? Let's see. Here I will define the variable length and width. Okay. Now I want to assign this value while creating the object. So what I will do? I will create a parameterized constructor, int len and int width. Okay, so this is called parameterized constructor. So if we want to assign this value using constructor, then we can create the parameterized constructor. Okay, if we remove this for now, what will happen? As I told, the default constructor will be there in class, right? But when we define any other constructor, then that default constructor will be not there in this class and it will give the compile time error, right? So if we don't have any constructor, then only default constructor will be there. Otherwise we have to define explicitly. Okay, now I want to assign value of length and width by constructor. How to do that? While creating the object, we have to pass parameter. Like I want to pass 12 as a length and 13 as a width. So we can do like this, okay? Also we can do like len and width, okay? Like that also we can define. If we define this way, then we don't have to follow any order. We can define in any order, okay? But if we don't want to specify this variable name, then we have to follow the order, okay? Now in this case, the length will be 13th and width will be 12, okay? Now inside the constructor, now we have the value in len as 13 and width as 12. How to initialize that value? Now I will use len equal to len. Okay. Now here is the confusion, like which len we are using. So to distinguish this class len variable, we have to use this keyword. This keyword refers to current instance of class. Means this dot len means this one. Okay. And this is the len. Okay. In the same way, we will define this. We will initialize this width with parameter width. Okay. Now, if we want to write the value of this len and width, it will give the value of this thing. Okay. So for that, I will create a method void display. Okay. Here I will show the value. As we don't have the conflict here, means we don't have len in the parameter of this method, so we don't have conflict. So we can directly use len. And we can also use this keyword. It will work as same, but it is not required here. So I will remove this. Now let's call this method. I will make it public. And I will call this method from where? Here. Okay. Dot display. Okay. Now let's run and see. See value len equal to 13, which is first argument, first parameter, right? 12, which is width, which is second parameter. Okay. So we have learned what is object, what is class, and how to define the constructor, how to create the object, how to call the method, right? As I told, constructor is special kind of method. As you know, we can call the method using object of that class, but we can't explicitly call the constructor. We have to create object, then it will automatically call that particular constructor. Okay. Now we will learn what is destructor. Destructor work opposite to constructor. It will destruct the object. We can create destructor only once. Destructor can't have the parameter, and also destructor can't have modifiers. As you know, we can't call the constructor explicitly, right? In the same way, we can't call destructor. How to define the destructor? Okay. Let's see. We will not have modifier, right? So if we want to define the destructor, we can define it as this. And then we have to use tilde symbol. Okay. Now it is destructor. As you know, destructor don't have parameters, so we have to remove this and remove this. Okay. This is for destructing the object, right? We can write the cleanup code inside the destructor. We will see when destructor will call. Destructor is also known as finalizer. Finalizer implicitly call the finalize method on the base class object. That's why it is internally converted to this. Okay, it will internally converted to this. Okay. In try block, we will have the cleanup statement, and this is base class finalize method call. Okay. It's happen implicitly. Okay. We don't have to do this thing. Okay. Now the question is when destructor call. Destructor call when the program terminated or the object come out of scope. Okay, so if you can see here, we have created the object here. After this brace, this object will not accessible and it is out of scope. That's why after this it will call the destructor. Okay, now let's run and see. You can see destructor message is not showing, like this call. Okay, I will try with Control F5 and we'll check. Nothing. Okay, so why it is not calling? Because I am using .NET 5.0. Let's see the .NET framework version. Target framework version is .NET 5.0. Okay. .NET 5 and later version will not call finalizer on the program termination. Okay. I hope you want to see the destructor call, right? So I will show you with different .NET framework version. I have one code, same code here. I have created the class, same class as we have in .NET 5, and we are creating the object here. And here our .NET framework version is .NET framework 4.5.2. Okay, now let's run and see here what happened if destructor called or not. Okay, you were not able to see, right, the output. I will use Control F5 to see the output. You can see dist call means here you can see this. In destructor we have this call. Okay, that is here, right? Means before the .NET 5 version, that destructor called, right? Means finalizer called on program termination, right? I hope you understand when destructor call and how to define the destructor. That's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, let's share with your friends.